Do you dream of having your own special outdoor space? A small garden that you can admire, enjoy, and call your own. And then you stop and think, I have no idea how to make it. Well, you're not alone.
Over the past year, Monty Don has travelled up and down the country, visiting amateur gardeners and working with them to make their dreams come true. He's cast a critical eye over their plans.
Don't be too horrified, okay, Monty?
Everything's possible.
I know it seems unusual.
It's just profoundly unusual.
And given advice.
Just pinch that off.
But they took so long to grow.
He's got stuck in.
Oh my goodness.
And everybody has worked incredibly hard.
Look at the size of that.
The results are truly exciting.
It's really nice.
I do believe that everybody, however small their garden, can cultivate a big dream.
This time, Monty is meeting amateur gardeners with very different approaches to creating their dream gardens. From plans to design a historically inspired London backyard.
The Victorians really love plants, they love nature, love to get some of that into our garden.
Well, it is small. Exotic plant collection, what's that?
It'd be good to know whether we're being totally crazy or not.
To a chaotic cottage garden in Hereford.
I want to look out the front door and for it to look like a united garden rather than just bits everywhere.
What you're looking at is one of the grandest, most expensive, extravagant structures in the history of gardening. And that's what you want.
Will our gardeners be able to achieve their dreams?
It's got to be perfect.
Oh, so no pressure.
Frankie needs to be kept in check, otherwise who knows what will be in the garden.
Oh, no. I think I might get the mother of all telling-offs. And, yeah, I'm absolutely petrified.
Our first garden belongs to Frankie, a fundraising manager and keen sailor from Hereford. She bought a house 8 years ago and has been trying to create a dream garden ever since, often under the watchful eye of her mum, Pat, a retired hairdresser. Frankie's garden means a lot to her, even more so after her older sister Jane was killed in a tragic accident 5 years ago.
I think having the garden got me through the time after the accident, because you could just go out there, weed, and when you're in the garden, when you're doing the actual act of gardening, you just forget, my saviour in a way, and that's why it would be fantastic to have it looking gorgeous, you know, to put something back and thank the garden as well for looking after me.
And at first glance, it doesn't look in bad shape for the time of year.
It is an English cottage garden, and I want to keep an English cottage garden. I want to look out, come out of the front door and for it to look like a united garden, a cohesive whole rather than just bits everywhere.
You want it to be quite magical,
I do,
you?
yeah.
Our second garden is in Clapham. It belongs to Jack, who works in new media, and his partner Chris, a computer programmer. They recently bought their flat and are keen to get cracking on transforming their tidy but bland back garden.
The vision for our garden is to make it a plant lover's dream. Always loved plants, I've loved collecting different things throughout my life, and I think this is our first opportunity, our first garden.
Collectaholic Jack wants to draw on the past to create a garden that will showcase his love of plants. This was inspired by a holiday spent visiting Victorian gardens around the UK, such as Cragside and Biddulph Grange.
The Victorians really love plants, they love nature to the point they love collecting it and showing it off. It was really fashionable for them. I feel a little bit like that, and I'd love to try and get some of that into our garden.
But Chris has his own ideas.
The garden will bring about new opportunities for me to get lots of new gadgets. So we want to have things like rain gauges, which will be connected to the internet, and weather stations and pH monitors. So we'll be able to have it's got to bring the garden into the sort of the modern time. It'd be good to know whether we're being totally crazy or not.
It's March, and in Hereford, a very excited Frankie is preparing to meet her idol, Monty.
I'm absolutely terrified that Monty Don is going to be walking around my garden any minute now, and all the things I've planted from the Monty Don gardening book, he's going to be looking at.
I'll bet he'll notice things that you didn't prune last autumn.
Rebus is looking all alert.
Oh my God!
Hello.
I'm Frankie.
Hello, Frankie.
This is my
Hello.
mum.
Hello. Very nice to meet you.
And you.
This is your garden. So why do you want to change it?
It's not complete and it's not whole. What I want to do is keep the nice bits, but take my grotty bits, that's a long-awaited pond. Have a pond.
So you want
there.
a pond in there?
Yeah, with a sort of slight Roman ruin twist,
Right.
which I hope you can help me with. Rome in an English cottage garden setting. Then leading through into an orchard area up there. Lovely fruit trees with daffodils and irises underplanting them, and just have a lovely meadow area, and to try and make the whole thing link up. Possibly past a mud head, but that's slightly controversial.
What is a mud head?
Like they've got the giant's head in the lost gardens of Heligan. If it's in terrible taste.
There are. It sounds appalling taste. There are.
I'm not very keen on them, but then it's your garden.
Well, I thought it's like it's an English cottagey garden.
What's prompted you to do these changes? Why now?
Well, it's a sad story, really, because my sister, she was killed about 5 years ago in a train crash. The garden's been kind of my saviour. It's got me through. And then last month, out of the blue, I got a cheque, a compensation cheque for £4,000. So I just think that cheque from my sister is like a gift to me from my sister to do something that I love, that makes me feel good.
So that's your budget?
Yeah.
It's a nice idea, that, isn't it? It's
I think
sort of.
I think Jane would love it.
Yeah.
You know.
Then there's no question, you have to do it because it's the right, joyful, positive thing to do. What I would advise above all else is preparation, preparation, preparation.
Yeah.
Coupled with a nice cup of tea. Here we go. Come on, Rebus, you can put the kettle on.
It's time for Monty to see whether Frankie's unusual ideas make any more sense on paper. But when Monty sees Frankie's plans, he spots a big problem.
What's apparent is that it's random. Things are left out, things are put in, and it's floating. It's not accurate, and nothing is connected to anything else.
Frankie wants to use a derelict space to create a Roman-style wildlife pond, complete with wooden ruins. An orchard with a wildflower meadow underneath. Next to this, an enormous mud head completes her dream plans.
Each item, pond, head, orchard, is seen as totally separate. They have to be connected.
Yeah.
And the obvious and simplest way to do it is with a path. You need to work out where your paths are going to be,
Yeah.
and they are as important as the beds. Also, your face, your head. Tell me what you mean by a mud head.
This is a photo that Mother took of the giant's head in the lost gardens of Heligan. You see this head literally coming out of the ground with amazing planting on the top.
Not easy.
No.
Really not easy. I mean, just the undercutting of the nose and how it's held, and I can't believe that's mud.
No, if it was simple, everybody would have one.
I promise you they wouldn't. Why not make a topiary head?
Oh, I'd love a topiary head.
Well, it can be done.
Monty thinks that the mud head should be scrapped and replaced with topiary. Frankie should add paths that will connect up different parts of the garden. He suggests covering the back wall in trellis and growing plants on it. And he wants her to rethink her dream pond.
Now, blimey is what I say. Here we have Hadrian's Villa, which I've been to a number of times. What you're looking at is one of the grandest, most expensive, extravagant structures in the history of gardening. And that's what you want. If you're going to dream, dream big.
I don't quite want the Roman, I want the feeling of Hadrian's Villa in the garden.
Forget your Hadrian's Villa and your pillars and all the rest of it. That can come later.
Yeah.
Monty wants Frankie to focus on the shape and size of her pond, and he's determined to help her make these decisions while he's around to supervise. Luckily, some of Frankie's friends have also come along to lend a hand.
Hello, I'm Monty.
Catherine.
Catherine.
Nick.
Nick, nice to meet you.
Chris, pleased to meet
Chris,
you.
and you are?
Mandy.
Right. We've got 3 things to get done this afternoon. The chicken fence needs to be completely removed, and then all the scrubby undergrowth cut back, raked up, made into a heap for a bonfire, and we've got to dig a pond. No pressure.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
This afternoon, right, no problem.
Can I suggest you 4 start on the chicken surrounds, then we can tackle the undergrowth, while Frankie and I mark out the pond.
And I'll make the coffees and teas, if anybody wants one.
Good, good, and beautifully
Is that
said.
better?
While Pat puts the kettle on, the volunteers get to work.
You'd have to be a very good friend to do this for someone.
Got a good team.
Yeah. So keep our fingers crossed they'll all still come.
It seems the volunteers might have their own reasons for helping.
We're neighbours, so we've got to look at it every day, and Frankie needs to be kept in check, otherwise who knows what will be in the garden.
Maybe Monty thinks so too, as he helps Frankie mark out her pond.
So if I start marking some sticks out and you just say, if you're happy.
Yep.
He explains that marking out the pond before digging will give an idea of the size and shape and avoid expensive mistakes.
Is it the sort of size you want and the sort of shape?
Yes, the size is perfect and the shape is lovely.
It's just as well, because Monty isn't planning on wasting any time.
We've hired a mini digger. It's waiting round the corner. Time to get it into action.
It's Monty Don in my
my goodness. Watch out.
Monty and a digger, that's all a girl needs.
I mean, it's exciting seeing Monty Don come down your garden path, but seeing Monty Don in a mini digger coming down your garden path, it's just like, you want to go and have a lie down and palpitations, basically.
With the pond dug out and the plan agreed, Monty leaves Frankie with some homework.
I will come back in a few weeks' time
Yeah.
to help with the planting, by which time I would expect that top area to be cleared, raked, prepared, and then we can think about planting. Frankie's plan is fascinating, but totally ignores paths and entrances and steps and exits. The practical bits and pieces that, if you don't get right, don't hold the garden together.
I now see that if I'd have started on my own, it would have been horrendous. He's nailed it, and we're going on the right track, so I feel confident that I can get on with it.
Monty is in Clapham, and he's on his way to meet Jack and Chris for the very first time.
Just keep it chilled, because I know you're a big fan. So. Okay.
I'll be calm.
Hello. Hello, I'm Monty.
Hello,
Nice to meet you.
I'm Jack. Nice to meet you.
Jack, Chris, nice to meet you, Monty.
Nice to meet you too. It's good to be here. Thanks. Where do we go?
The garden's down this way.
But what will Monty make of their tiny 30-metre square garden?
Well, it is small. Yeah. It is small. But it's nice space, isn't it?
Yeah.
Feels good.
Yeah.
It's very nice. We do love it. It's a great space, but it doesn't have that wow factor.
Jack hopes that his plans will add that wow factor.
We're going to put in a living wall down the side full of ferns.
Right.
That's our modern take on a Victorian fernery,
Right.
which is something we're really excited about. And then just otherwise, it's just lots and lots of colour.
So you're the gardener, and what about you?
I'm the labourer.
Okay.
I like the sort of technical aspect of it, so we've got lots of gadgets around the garden that I was able to get.
I mean, for someone of my generation, it's an interesting angle, to come at it. What in particular are you thinking of planting? You talk about wow plants, big impact. What have you got in mind?
Definitely dahlias, so they need to feature heavily. So I think particularly some of the really
Why
giant.
do they need to feature heavily?
I love them.
Right.
Because they're so large and loud and colourful and bright.
What's your budget?
£2,000 for everything.
Okay.
So that includes all plants and all of the pots.
Aside from the budget, there's something else that could really scupper their plans.
We're going to be having some work done. We're going to be moving the bathroom and having some nice double doors at the back and another door out into the
So
garden.
you are going to be reshaping your house at the same time as you're making the garden?
We are.
Has it not crossed your mind that the builders will have mess and rubble and that it'll spill out into the garden?
It has, but we'll have to manage that.
Let's hope those aren't famous last words. Jack and Chris want to make the most of their small space by cramming it with plants in both the existing beds and dozens of pots. At the back, they want to create a living wall packed with ferns. And in the centre, they want an area to entertain guests. As soon as Monty sees Jack's plans, he notices something unusual for an amateur gardener.
Alongside here, you've got dahlia and exotic plant collection in large plots. Exotic plant collection, what's that?
I am a bit of a collector, so once I start collecting things, I want more of them and to get the full set. But I think also it adds variety and interest to people.
And when it comes to his collections, Jack refuses to settle for anything but the best.
It's got to be perfect, so once you start...
Oh, well, so no pressure. So you've got to go for it and it's got to be perfect.
Yes.
Big challenge.
Good first time for everyone.
So the big dream is to have the perfect garden, the perfect collection. One of the standard design tricks or rules even in small gardens, it works very well to have fewer things but bigger things. A few really big things give you more room because it ups the scale. Lots of little things make it seem cluttered and crowded.
Monty understands Jack's vision, but thinks that he needs to control his collecting habits. He suggests scaling back on the number of plants in the garden, which will open up the space.
I think there's a few things that jump out where we'd love to have your help. Dahlias is one of them. I would love advice on that because I love them, never grown them before. But also I think for us it's that the living wall of ferns, making that work.
We'll need to do our research and see what's best, you know, for the space we've got.
I have to say the combination of gardening and high tech is not one that I've ever really come across.
It's much better having someone here than reading it in a book or online. I think you get a lot more, and he's got so much experience, so we'll try and draw out as much as we can.
This could be the beginning of something very special, and I genuinely can't wait to see the end result.
It's April, and Monty is back in Hereford to see what Frankie has been up to.
Hello.
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 She's trying to create her dream cottage garden, and Monty has suggested that she needs to focus on the basics, like building paths and sorting out the ugly back wall. As ever, Frankie's trusty team are hard at work.
I like the green paint.
It makes a difference, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. It gets rid of that horrible grey.
Yeah.
And are you going to put the trellis along or not?
Yes, there's a place up the road that does lovely cleft chestnut.
Now, tell me about these trees you've got, looking very new.
I've got an apple, a pear and a quince.
Wonderful. Now, where do you want them to go?
Along the back ridge,
Can you
I
show
think.
me? Can you show me? Put sticks where you think they ought to go.
Frankie seems to like being instinctive with her planting ideas.
I'd like the quince at the front because I like the quince blossom the best.
Right.
I'm not sure if the pear should go there because it's near to the other pear and that might help it pollinate.
The proximity for pollination is utterly irrelevant.
Okay.
As long as it's within the same garden,
We'll be
it's
fine.
fine.
Oh, good.
The other thing to bear in mind is that apples need best drainage.
Right.
Pears need good drainage and can cope with a little bit less sun. Quince prefer it to be slightly moist. So I would always plant my quince at the bottom of the slope, not the top. So if we put that there, like that, it means that the quince, which we want as low as possible, I can take a bit of shade. Again, as the bush doesn't want to come much lower than that. Could come back a bit like that.
Yeah.
So there. See, I would plant another one here. Now, how's that looking?
That looks really orchard-like.
Good. So let's get planting.
Monty explains that when planting a tree, always dig a bigger hole than you think you need. Stake trees into the prevailing wind. Water well and apply mulch to the top rather than in the planting hole. Keep well watered for the first year and remove stakes after 3 years.
OK, watered, mulch, we just need to tie them. Have you got any ties?
I've got some string.
String's better than nothing, but not very good, because string either holds it tight or else it chafes against the string. You want the tree to move in the wind, and the more strength it has, the more wind resistant it is.
Stronger it is, yeah.
I would buy some rubber ties,
Right.
not too big, and use them.
Are they specialist ties?
Yes, you buy tree ties.
Right, tree ties.
Trees planted and staked, the next item on the to-do list is Frankie's meadow. Monty recommends that when planting a meadow, it's important to get rid of all the weeds first. For poor soil, choose seed mixes with perennials like bluebells, and for rich soil, a mix with annuals like poppies.
The things to remember about sowing the seed is don't be tempted to sow thickly. You'll get no better result by sowing any thicker.
No.
These are individual plants, and if you crowd them, they'll just be thin and weedy. Yeah. So that's number one rule. Yeah. And two, when you've got them in the ground, tread all over them to push them down against the ground or roll them. You want to get contact.
Right.
In other words, don't rake it.
Yeah.
Tread it.
Okay.
Flatten it. And third thing, and this is absolutely critical, don't let it dry out.
Just looks fantastic, doesn't it, Mum? And as the sun,
like an orchard.
It does.
I hope I've managed to introduce the idea of a little rhythm and spatial harmony without losing Frankie's lovely free spirit.
It's starting to feel like it's coming together a little bit more. It's been like a smashed egg omelette for weeks, and it's been hard work. It's fantastic having Monty back. Can we have him every week?
So if she can get that bank sown, the pond filled up, and some decent planting, there's a garden there waiting to come alive.
But no sooner is Monty's back turned than Frankie is ignoring all of his advice about her mud head.
My garden's looking so lovely now, but it's just missing that thing that makes it different from everybody else, and I just think it needs a mud head. I still think it needs a mud head.
Oh, no. Monty will be surprised.
Yeah, he will. Good surprised or bad surprised?
Frankie is mixing up some cob, a mixture of straw and subsoil to cover her head.
What are you going to call the mud head?
Monty. He'll be immortalised in mud. What greater honour can we give him? Look at that! It sticks! I feel like a master sculptor.
And along with some help from her volunteers, the mud head is brought to life.
I think this is something I'd remember. If I saw a mud head in someone's garden, I'd remember that.
Yes, Frankie. But what will your hero Monty feel when he realises you've ignored his advice? Back in Clapham, Monty's visit has spurred Jack and Chris on, and they're keen to get on with building their fern wall. To turn their dreams into reality, they've had to get some help from Mum and Dad.
I think he would rather we all backed off and he could just get on with it. But he's really good. He knows what he's doing.
Green walls like this are being used increasingly to bring vegetation to urban settings, often with architectural touches. These larger designs need special racks and watering systems. Jack and Chris have bought fence posts, which they plan to combine with planks of wood to make shelves to house their collection of potted ferns. It isn't long before it all starts going a bit wrong.
There, stops. There's something there.
Stone.
That's the concrete of an old fence, John.
There's a lot of rubble and flint and stones down there.
You could put the post in on its own, yeah, and then screw it to that. And then do out this.
Let's try and get the stone out.
Ever the perfectionist, Jack isn't going to give up.
Jack's going to reach Australia in a minute.
And after a lot of digging, it finally pays off. Problem solved. Dad gets back to work. And before long, he has the last panels in place.
We're a perfect fit there.
Look at that.
Dad's done a brilliant job of actually turning our idea into a reality. I'm just really pleased it's happened.
Maybe this was I don't know, maybe this was the easy part, I don't know what it's going to. I don't know how many of these we're going to need, maybe.
To help Jack and Chris work out the next steps for their fern wall and get some tips for their plant collections, Monty has sent them to the Chelsea Physic Garden. Head gardener Nick Bailey is on hand to take them round.
Hey.
Hey guys, welcome to the garden.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
The garden is home to a huge collection of rare plants from around the world. Many of these species were brought to Britain by plant collectors who used a simple yet effective device to transport their finds.
There's about 5,000 species sitting here today, and of course many of them would arrive in these Wardian cases.
Nick explains that the Wardian case was created by Nathaniel Ward in 1829 to allow plants to survive long journeys. And Jack has a bit of a connection to its inventor.
The guy that invented it lived 2 minutes away from our house in Clapham. Yeah. I was wondering, did he ever work here or?
He didn't work at the Physic Garden, but he was an associate of the Physic Garden, so he sort of was an advisor.
Knowing Jack is a big fan of plant collections, Nick shows him one of this garden's best examples.
I've never seen such a variety of pelargoniums before, some I've never even seen before.
I mean, this I suppose is the lovely thing about a collection, that it really shows you the diversity and just how different these plants can be. I mean, there's one that virtually looks like a cacti over there. These are some of the scented leaf forms. This is one called Attar of Roses. Have a crush and a smell. It often gets used in perfumery, and it's got that sort of rosewater scent to it, so it smells like
Turkish Delight.
Yeah, Turkish Delight. Yeah.
Next, a collection which should have some good plants to inspire Jack and Chris.
This is one of our British native fern. It's called Asplenium scolopendrium. You can see it's a broadleaf fern, so it doesn't have any of those sort of divisions that you often see on ferns, and it's probably one of the easiest ones to grow, so it could work really well in your wall.
So I'm wondering, are there any major pests of ferns as well that we should be aware of?
There's a few things to think about. I mean, western flower thrip is a real issue, and unfortunately there's very little available on the market to deal with it, but the answer is really good growing in the first place. The other problem you often get is with slugs and snails. Of course, there's numerous organic methods you can use to control that. You can get some organic sprays which make leaves taste really horrible, and you can also use daggings, which is trimmings from a sheep's rear end, and put that around your plant, and they won't crawl across that. And probably the easiest thing to do is just an evening hunt with your, particularly on a sort of rainy evening. If you go outside with your torch, you'll find that they'll all be out looking for something to eat.
I'd rather do that than handle daggings.
Yeah.
It's been really exciting. We've taken in so much information. Nick's been fantastic showing us around.
It's nice to see that we're on the right track, giving us a lot more excitement about getting to the end and having this, really cool garden.
Back in Hereford, Frankie still seems to be ignoring Monty's to-do list. She's cooking up an unusual treat for her mud head.
So you've got lots of moss, lots of yoghurt, and there is a moss milkshake.
It looks absolutely disgusting.
Look at that. Try some.
No!
Here we go. Pour that in there. Lovely. This is going to be painted on the front of the mud head.
Yes.
And the idea is that all those little bits of moss will stick to the mud head and spread so that the whole of the face of the mud head will be covered in moss and be green. So it won't look muddy, it'll look green and gorgeous.
moss milkshake made, all that's left to do is to paint it on and hope it sticks.
Beautiful. Look at that.
Frankie, put some on its eyebrows, on both the eyebrows, and make them a bit bushy.
Bit Dennis Healy.
Yes.
Do you know, I bet in America women would probably pay to have this done. This is sedge grass called frosted curls, and I've got 7 plants, I think. I'm going to put 3 in the head to make the hair, and I've put some holes. I've chiselled some holes in, so I don't know, I've not tried this before. So the idea is we'll have some on the top, some in the side, and they grow to 30 centimetres, so eventually this should grow and cover the whole mud head. So if I put that down there to make more of a fringe, if I put them slightly, plant them slightly sideways to come down, they've got good roots on them. It looks brilliant.
It is brilliant.
It's brought it to life with the moss all over its face and the hair. You're liking the mud head now, aren't you?
Well, I'm accepting it. I just have to.
You like the mud head?
No, it isn't as bad as I thought it would be. I'm slightly coming round to it, and I like its hair.
It's because you're a hairdresser. I think it's wonderful.
So that's Pat converted, but what will Monty think? It's May, and Monty is back in Clapham to see how Jack and Chris are getting along.
I'm very interested to see how much Jack and Chris have developed from the original discussions we have, because it seemed to me then that the key to this garden, for them at least, was to indulge and engage in this slightly geeky passion for collecting and to really focus on just a few plants that excited them.
Jack and Chris are creating a plant lover's paradise, packed with dahlias. They're also making a living wall full of ferns. But their lack of experience is beginning to show, and they need some basic advice from Britain's favourite gardener, particularly when it comes to potting on their ferns.
We need to put up the ferns because some of them are coming bare root, others are coming in small pots and they need to be put into a bigger size. We want Monty to help with it because we've never done that.
A lot of conflicting stuff about the kind of soil that's needed for different kinds of ferns, and I think we need a bit of clarity on how different it needs to be.
My feeling is you do more damage obsessing about details of compost than just buying a good bark-based, peat-free compost. If you want a little bit more drainage, add some vermiculite, horticultural grit or perlite. If you want to hold moisture a bit more, you can buy either a soil improver or make your own garden compost and add sort of 20% of that to it. And honestly, I'd keep it as simple as that. But one little tip I can show you is if you have a lovely fern like this Althurium, which is fantastic, and you want to put it into a bigger pot, put some compost in the bottom like that, stick that on top, just gently pour soil, don't push or pack it around it, all the way around. Carefully lift that out, so it leaves a hole, pull that out, pop it in. Water it in gently, it'll subside a little bit. The roots will find their own way out. If you want to top it up a little bit later, you can do that. And that's potted on. And that, you've got the right proportion all around it. You've got exactly the same space all around. It's got room for it to grow into, and that's fine.
Ferns potted on, it's time for them to take their place on the living wall.
Okay, space them out how you want them. Now what strikes me is you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, you've got 8 ferns there. So you're going to need at least 8 per section. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You've got 10 sections. You need 80 ferns. Go shopping. Take up thy credit card, walk to the fern shop and buy another 40.
A fern shopping spree? Music to Jack's ears. But first, some advice about his other obsession.
Let's look at dahlias, because I know dahlias have sort of eaten into you, haven't they?
Yes.
They've got you.
Yes, they have.
Right, but you haven't got much experience in growing them.
Never grown them.
Right. This is a very nice example of a healthy dahlia plant. What I like about it is that you've pinched out the top. Was that on purpose or accident?
It was on purpose, but I didn't know what I was doing, so I stopped on that one.
Well, can I just tell you that instinctively you did exactly the right thing? Because can you see that you've got nice side shoots growing from where you pinched it out, lovely strong side shoots from below, more side shoots down there. These side shoots are going to have the flowers. So in principle, at this time of year, cutting it back, pinching it out, will produce more flowers that will last longer and later.
There are around 20,000 types of dahlias, and they come in all shapes and sizes and give colour well into the autumn. But as Monty explains, when the frosts start, either cover them or dig them up and store them until spring. It's early summer, and Frankie and Pat are about to get a masterclass in what goes into giving a garden structure and form. They've travelled to Brian's Ground, a stunning arts and crafts style garden, to meet one of the owners, Simon Dorrell.
Hi.
Hello.
I'm Frankie.
Hello, Frankie. I'm Simon.
Hello, Simon. Nice to meet you. And this is my mother, Pat.
Hello, Pat.
Hello.
Lovely to meet you.
Lovely to meet you.
Welcome to Brian's Ground.
Your irises are just beautiful.
They're looking splendid, aren't they?
It's stunning. Really lovely.
Let me show you the rest of the garden.
Looking forward to it.
Set over 8 acres, the gardens at Brian's Ground have been created from scratch by the present owners over the last 22 years. They meticulously planned every inch of the space and did all of the planting and landscaping themselves.
Principally, I thought that the garden should have a very close relationship to the house. So a lot of the vistas that are the backbones of the garden emanate from doors and windows in the house. So I took canes and string and I laid out vistas across the garden, which today form the backbone of the design. I planted many more hedges and avenues of trees, and I've used a lot of topiary as well because they're wonderful at articulating that space. And they have wonderful form and structure.
The thing with my garden, and Monty said it just looks like a load of borders plonked in with no structure.
I feel that you need to just impose a little bit of order, and then you're much freer with your planting. You can do absolutely anything you want to do.
It's getting the big things.
I think it's getting the bones right very early on, and then everything else falls into place.
In the past, I've always been a bit worried about topiary because my garden's not, it's a normal size, but it's not huge. I've always thought I'd have to come to a big garden to see topiary, but...
Well, obviously, I'm gardening on a very large scale here. We're in a part of the garden, just this part is 5.5 acres, so obviously very different for you. But I think even in a small garden, it lends a wonderful sense of scale and progress.
Simon shows Pat and Frankie lots of examples of topiary. They are made from box and yew, and he shows them how successful shapes can be created by growing over frames. The real secret to success, though, lies in how to clip the bushes.
They're gorgeous.
Yes, this is yew topiary.
Yeah.
And here I clipped it into a pyramidal form. These I cut twice a year.
Right.
You can get away with cutting them once a year in about September.
What do you use to cut them with, Simon?
Well, I use hand shears. I know a lot of people use electric shears, but I like to use hand shears.
Yes.
I think it's a much closer cut, and you can refine it as you go along, really.
I would think that this is quite difficult to do this kind of cutting because it isn't a straight line down.
No.
Like that.
It takes a degree of concentration, but you do get your eye in quite quickly.
Do you?
And if you lay the shears on the plane and cut across, you can get this flat face. I'll show you what I mean.
I see, you cut across and
Yes.
not down.
So I'm going across like that all the time, not taking very much off. So I think you should have a go, see how you get on.
Yeah. I'll hold your stick.
And make sure you're side on to the plane. Absolutely brilliant.
Looks like our retired hairdresser, Pat, is a natural.
Oh, you can come and cut all my topiary for me. You've got the job.
For Frankie, the visit to Brian's Ground has been a revelation.
Coming here, you can see that you can put the structure, the topiary, the fencing, the lines in, and still have this gorgeous, gorgeous planting. And it's just fantastic. This is just the sort of garden I want to take my shoes off and run around in the morning, which is what I wanted from day one.
It's July. In Clapham, Jack and Chris are struggling, trying to renovate their house and create their dream garden all at the same time. But even building chaos can't stop Jack's plant collecting.
Oh, yeah, look.
Add to the pile.
Brilliant.
I promise these are some of the last few to arrive.
I don't think we can. I don't think we can take any more.
I think the main challenge is when the first work started, there was loads of dust, and it was a bit of a panic at that point.
The building work has turned Jack into an overprotective parent.
He's been okay. I think seeing him kind of almost like dusting down the leaves, I think the neighbours will probably think he's a bit crazy. But, you know, it's a labour of love.
And Chris has been busy too.
So this gizmo is one of Chris's additions to the garden. It's a rain gauge. Chris is really obsessed with gadgets. I think he loves tracking every part of his life, from his heartbeat to how much rain and how much pressure there is every day, to keep a record. And I think he's actually got more into gardening because of it.
Back in Hereford, Frankie has been hard at work building her paths. But still feeling inspired by the visit to Brian's ground and her topiary lesson, she wants to trim her yew trees into a pillar shape. Luckily for Frankie, Pat's decided to oversee her efforts.
Go on, I'll be your supervisor.
Oh, really? Like in the salon when you're teaching someone.
But it's a lot harder than Simon made it look.
Oh my goodness, that doesn't look very good. The gap still looks worse. But I think that gap will fill.
Pat's hairdressing know-how comes in handy.
Actually, we could tie it back.
That's a bit of a genius thought, Mother. Get a bit of string and fake it. It needs a bit more work. Is it better than you expected?
Yes, it is.
Whilst Frankie may be pleased with her yew-cutting efforts, the wildflower meadow has gone badly wrong. Frankie's friend Mandy has arrived to give some much-needed moral support.
What do you do?
It's a bit of a disaster.
Dig it up and start again.
Well, this is supposed to be a meadow, but it's just
Absolutely full of weeds.
Perhaps in her enthusiasm to get started, Frankie didn't allow enough time to kill off the weeds. Summer is racing past, and Jack and Chris have a deadline to face.
Monty's coming in just over a week, and we need to bulk up the collection of ferns. We are short, aren't we? We've only got 2/3 of the wall full.
I have to admit, I am extremely stressed. I think we've got a bit of Monty mania going on.
It's time to act on Monty's advice and go shopping.
Here we go.
Oh my word. That is a lot of ferns.
Right, we've got to get going. We've got some ferns to buy. We need 15 or 20 that are not on this list, that are...
Yeah, if we double up, it doesn't matter too much.
Okay, right.
This one's perfect. Got one of those already.
Got one of those already?
Got one of those.
I've never been panic fern shopping before. This is a first. You think this one's better than that one?
I think the other one, because it's got less... No, that one that you had.
Jack, this is a fern and a banana. We have to get this. 3 bananas. Brilliant.
Gone bananas.
He's very particular. As you can see, we have to get exactly the right one.
It looks as though Chris is getting almost as carried away as Jack.
If we get too many, is that a problem? It's worse not to have enough.
Give them to friends.
Yeah.
Spread the fern love.
Ferns bought, it's time for Chris to reflect on their unusual shopping trip.
Most people have to put their partners going out buying clothes and shoes. I have to worry about Jack going out buying flowers and plants and ferns.
Thanks, Chris.
Terribly true.
But back at the flat, it's clear that the building work is nowhere near finished. Perhaps they should have listened to Monty after all.
I think we were quite confident, but really, looking back, very naive to think that the two projects wouldn't interact with each other at all. And clearly that's, in retrospect, that's a bit silly. It's made both things hard for everyone. It's made working on the garden harder, and it's made working on the house harder for the builders.
I'm panicking that if we can actually get it all done in time, honestly.
It's going to be a really interesting few days before the party. I think we're going to have to really pull out all the stops.
Over the next week and a half, Jack and Chris move heaven and a lot of earth to get their garden finished in time for the party. And before they know it, the big day has arrived, and Monty is due in just a few hours.
We haven't got time to pick it all up, so we're just going to sweep it under the outdoor equivalent of the carpet, which is under a fern. They're quite useful for that. Really excited about the party, but extremely nervous as well. Everything still needs loads of prep doing. I don't know what to do with them.
While Jack is fussing with his flowers, Chris is showing off his gadgets.
One of the things you can do is you can talk through the camera, so Jack can talk to his plants when he's out.
I have been known to talk to the cat, but not to the plants.
Be out into the garden now.
As ever, no detail is overlooked by Jack, not even a speck of dust.
Essential party preparations, labelling the plants, never mind the food, to make sure every plant's got a label.
414 plants accounted for.
Gymnocarpium dryopterus.
Right.
So that's one of the ferns in the fern wall, yeah?
Yep. It's important to have the family.
Yes.
That's one.
One. Okay, 149 to go.
A week ago, we had scaffolding, dust everywhere, a big hole for the drains and things. These weren't here, these big doors.
Yeah, some late night gardening.
So excited for Monty to be coming around to look at the fern wall and dahlias. Hopefully we've done him proud in terms of what he advised. And
I'm looking forward to him seeing the transformation, and I hope he thinks we stuck to plan and we did everything that we said we were going to
do. 6 months ago, this was a bland and uninspiring back garden with more concrete than plants.
Well, it's certainly grown, hasn't it? Haven't they grown?
Now, Jack and Chris have brought this space to life. Their fern wall is thriving. And there are a variety of dahlias, adding height, shape, and lots of colour. They even have their very own Wardian case.
The two things, it seems you were focusing on dahlias and ferns. Have one taken over from the other? Are you still, is it double loyalties?
I love the ferns, but I think the dahlias, just how surprising they are and how they change so rapidly.
Yeah, I think you've been surprised how hardy everything's been, given what's gone on.
Monty wants to know if Chris's geeky gardening gadgets have come in handy.
Where did the technology come in?
Things like the rain gauge, when access was limited and it was difficult to water, it was really useful having that data to say, actually, there's been enough rain today, you don't need to water.
I think that would interest a lot of gardeners, actually.
Jack's obsessive cataloguing hasn't gone unnoticed either.
I have never seen labels in a private amateur's garden that are so professional looking. Where's all that come from?
A bit of madness, but also at the Chelsea Physic Garden they had them. And what I love about that is that anyone can go there and see a plant they like and get the exact one.
It's sort of, I mean, without being patronising, it's sort of sweet, but it's also a bit bonkers, you've got to admit.
It is a bit bonkers and it's a bit over the top, so I've enjoyed it.
Time to hear the verdict from some of their friends.
It's brilliant. It's really inspiring. So much going on. Didn't realise how much you can do with a garden. It's amazing what they made of it. The amount of green and the space. It really brings the space. It makes it larger, not smaller.
I think the garden looks amazing. The last time I saw it, it was just literally just pavements and fencing walls. It's definitely a seal of approval seeing someone like Monty Don in their garden.
And the man who gave them advice on their visit to the Chelsea Physic Garden has come to inspect their work too.
These guys have done a great job, and so much diversity, so many different species in here. I think the challenge is going to come in that some of them want to be growing at the base of a waterfall, really sort of damp and covered in water. Others want to be growing in sort of rock outcrops and really dry. So that's really going to test their horticultural abilities to keep all of that going. I think though with their technologies they should be able to manage it.
Jack and Chris have one more thing to celebrate: Chris's birthday.
You should be feeling a combination of pride and relief, I guess, having to battle through builders
to reach this point. And not just well done, both of you, but I think happy birthday.
Thank you.
Well done.
Personally, I'm proud of the garden because I think it still works as a garden as a whole, even though there's lots of different plants in the collection, it still gels together.
Yeah, it's calm and yeah, it's a nice space. I think it will work well as a garden.
We've actually come in under budget because we grew a lot of stuff by seed or from plugs. So we budgeted 2,000. It came in at about 1,800 overall. That said, are going to have to sacrifice a few things, aren't we?
Yeah, I think we'll have to hold off furnishing the flat a little bit, I think. So we might be sitting out in the garden longer than we anticipated.
That's fine.
I think Jack and Chris's garden shows one really important fact, that when you set out to make a garden, you must find the thing that spurs you on. It doesn't matter what it is, but you need to find that one passion that makes you want to get out in the garden in all weathers and in all circumstances. Now for Jack, it's a love of dahlias and ferns, and a little bit of technology from Chris. But whatever it is, if you find that kernel, then you're hooked.
It's the day before Monty's final visit to Frankie, and the garden is a hive of activity.
It's going to pour with rain from 3 o'clock onwards. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it might start at 2, it's starting now. So we've got 1 hour.
I haven't finished my tea yet.
No time for tea. There's bits of path that need cutting. We're just sort of filling gaps, plugging things. And it just feels like there's not enough time. I could do with another week and a team of people.
So it's all hands, and even paws on deck to make sure it gets done on time.
Come on then. Come on, Ebus. Help me dig. That's it. Good boy. Can you dig a big hole for this big plant? I'm absolutely bricking it at the thought of Monty Don walking down my drive and seeing my mud head. I think I might get the mother of all telling-offs. And, yeah, I'm absolutely petrified. We've put the work in, but it would be just nice for him to say, you know, I like it.
Back in March, Frankie's garden lacked shape, colour and design.
Look at this. It's looking wonderful.
You like it?
I love it.
6 months on, it's totally transformed. Grass paths connect the garden's key elements. A wildlife pond, surrounded by plants, is alive with nature. Beds planted with cottage garden flowers bring the colour Frankie wanted. The orchard is thriving, and the ugly back wall has been covered in cleft chestnut. And in pride of place, Frankie's mud head watches over everything, adding a real sense of fun and individuality.
I could see talking to you originally, it was a bit like maths homework. There was a lot of nodding, and that you didn't quite get it.
No, I didn't get it at all. I had to sleep on it. And the next morning after you'd gone, the first thing I did was get up with sticks and strings and mark out paths, because suddenly it was the penny drop.
What happened to the sort of Greco-Roman villa that was going to be there?
Hadrian's Villa.
Hadrian's Villa.
From Oak. From Oak, yes, that was the idea.
Was that a jettisoned, sort of woke up bolt upright at 3 o'clock in the morning and thought, what am I thinking?
No, it was when you said that Hadrian had 4,000 slaves to build it and I didn't.
And Mudhead, he got in here.
She had to have Mudhead.
But he's subtle, he's horticultural.
He's not subtle.
Well, he's sort of...
He's outrageous.
The hair's good, though.
No, the hair is genius. The hair is a triumph. And if it makes you happy, then it's wonderful.
I come out of the door every morning and I see that and I laugh. I really do. I love it.
And you don't think it lowers the tone at all?
Oh, I hope it does.
Yes, good, good.
So that's more or less a thumbs up from Monty for the mudhead. Next, an inspection of Frankie's skills at clipping a yew into the beginnings of topiary.
Oh, yes, I remember this. So you have cut it back a bit.
We've cut it back quite a lot.
That is actually a real mistake.
Oh, is it?
Yes. Never tie any plant, any living plant, with wire. That will cut into the bark.
Yeah.
Always tie things up with softer material than the thing you're tying.
Right.
That's a really good rule of thumb.
Finally, Monty wants to see how the orchard he helped plant is coming along.
So the orchard is now established. Trees are in. I see you've completed the planting.
Yes.
The wildflower meadow, I gather it wasn't as big a success as it might have been.
No, it was a disaster. It was full of weeds. It swamped everything else, so we just trimmed it. And I think it looks better. From down below, when you look up to the garden.
Does it feel like an orchardy sort of space?
Definitely, yeah, it really does. And it's going to have bulbs planted to come up in the spring. And I've got fruit already.
Things have gone well.
Yeah,
I think it's good.
well.
As Pat and Frankie's friends start arriving, it's time to toast the garden and all of the hard work and people that made it possible.
When I first came here, I realised within a minute or two that this was a madhouse. And that the garden had some lovely things in it and some lovely bits, but it was chaotic. It was all over the shop. But, and it's a big but, the transformation has just been wonderful. And I've seen a lot of gardens in my time. And this has given me as much pleasure today as almost any. It's a joy. I know exactly what it takes to do all this. Masses of laughter, perhaps some tears, and it shows. Gardens are not about plants, gardens are about people.
I would just like to thank everybody for coming today. Don't want to get weepy, although it's coming. The garden has come about because of Jane, my sister, and you all know and love Jane, who died 5 years ago. And this has been her last gift, and we've had such a blast, haven't we?
Absolutely. Here's to Jane for still making things happen.
Still making us feel better. Thank you, Jane.
Jane. Very good. Let's drink.
To Frankie and Pat's relief, their hero Monty has given the garden his seal of approval. But what does Frankie's team of helpers think?
It's just been a really, really positive experience. And I think it's been a positive experience for everybody.
Yeah.
You and me?
Yeah.
We're good friends
We're
now.
mates now.
We're mates.
How do you think it's gone, Mother?
Absolutely wonderful. The whole day it's been, even the weather, but it has been lovely, and on the pot it's been just great.
I know, it's been great. And
seeing all Jane's friends.
We've really enjoyed doing this. I'm quite sad in a way. It's over. This is my dream garden. It's the dream come true. I come out every morning and I just think, I can't quite believe it's mine. And it's all thanks to Jane that this came about. And yeah, I love it. Really
it's magical.
Yeah.
I've really enjoyed everything about this garden. I'm very pleased that I've played a tiny part in its evolution. And one of the things that is very strong and has been through it from the beginning is Jane's presence and what this garden has meant to the family. And the best thing that she's brought to it, that gardens bring to everything, is a real sense of joy, of life, and of hope for the future.